All right, let's stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You skipped it.
I did.
We're going to make this an impromptu meeting, even though it's official. Shirley, would you take minutes?
Yes, I have to.
Do that, because Carla's not here, she's out.
Okay.
She comes and does that for us. Or Mike would, and we really don't have a lot to discuss. The last meeting, we didn't have a quorum, and that was about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And we haven't been having meetings because we don't have any decisions on finance or what to do with it. The only thing that came up at that meeting was at the most recent meeting was that $6,400 which hadn't come into our account, which they cleared up, cooperative grant. That they just didn't put it in our account. We have some minutes, and there's 3 of us here, so we do have a quorum. So the minutes that need to be approved.
Oh, we do have a quorum?
Yeah, it only takes 3 of the 5.
Oh,
We only
I see.
have 5 members. So present is Shirley, Jack, and Mike, and that gives us a quorum.
Okay.
Did you read the minutes? Did you get a chance to read the minutes? They're from probably November, December.
Yeah.
And I would make a motion to...
Motion made by Jack,
Okay.
seconded by Shirley, to approve the minutes from the last meeting. We have this from Stephanie, that she has allocated all of our funds. So for a financial report, I got this from the city, and it looks like as of 4/5, we currently have $17,501.54 in our account.
Give her the number.
$17,501.54.
Do we have copies of that?
Yes, you get one. You get one. I'll give one to, and one to Steph. And we give one to, that wasn't very good, was it? I'll give one to Stephanie and one to our reporter. Stephanie probably already knows this, but we'll give it to her anyway. So we're solvent, and I don't see a lot of expenses on here from so far from Stephanie of the 17.5.
But they have been committed.
But her biggest portion's coming up probably.
I was going to say, everything has been committed. The advertising started April 1st, so we haven't been billed yet. But all of those funds have been allocated.
Okay. So we have 17.5 in the bank, and we're spending 17.5. But some of it has been spent. She spent some of this up here was part of ours, right? Am I correct on it? So I'm not worried about it. We've got the dead part of the year is January, February, and March. If you look on the second page, receipts show that we're down, but we're probably at if you add all these up, we're probably have an average close to what we were in 11 and 10. Not near as good as in 9 or 7 or 8. And I didn't add these up because I just got this. You see what I'm saying about it?
No, are these are the actual cash payments?
This
This is not the reported.
This second page is actual cash received.
Okay, and that's not going to match with the reported amount?
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right. And that's actual cash received from lodging tax receipts. not what would come back from grant money or anything else. This just gives us an idea of what's coming from the lodgings each month. It doesn't show what monies we got from such things as grant money return or interest or anything that would be that part. And if you look at it, the months coming up before September are all actually better months than January, February, and March. And so we should, if you add this up, you're talking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, $14,000 more coming in. So in all probability, by the end of the year, we will have like 15 or 16,000 sitting there. As you know, at the end of fiscal year, which is September 30th. Everybody okay with that? It's kind of a general thing. It's not real. I don't have any questions for Stephanie, except how does she feel that our return on our investment is looking for our money that we've spent?
Well, since it just started, I don't have any analysis to really
Yeah,
give.
we didn't spend so much so far, have we?
No, not with the approved. So
Yeah.
everything pretty much started with April 1st.
Yeah.
You know, I'm keeping an eye on the Google Analytics kind of on a weekly basis to see where the referrals are coming from. I have seen some hits that are a result of the advertising we have with the Southern Illinois and the Missouri Life. I think the Missouri Life is going to turn out to be a very good one for us. I think that's a really wise investment to make. We also had the benefit with this most recent one. They had hiking, and Hawn State Park was included on that editorial. So there was a little bit of editorial in there as well as our ad. And we had a really nice half-page ad.
Yeah.
I was going to bring it in today, but it grew legs and walked off. So I no longer have my copy.
Yeah.
But it's going to have a good turnout. Plus, they're going to have some Facebook posts, and they're going to put us on their e-newsletter. And that goes to people who are, you know, they subscribe. So these are well within the demographics in our target market. So I think that the advertising that we're hitting with the Southeast Missourian is going to work out well for us. They have a specific publication that is aimed toward women in that 45 up market, educated, the annual income. And I'm feeling very optimistic with that piece, but it remains to be seen, and that just was released.
Well, if you look at the new demographics, 53% of the population are women. That's the new demographics. 47% are men.
No wonder everything's going to hell in a handbasket.
Not really.
I didn't think
She's
I would
right.
say that.
Women are the decision makers in the family,
Yes.
and it's becoming more and more. Even though that you have two people on the income, she has a full-time job, he has a full-time job, but the men are, I said relegated. The decision-making of food, restaurants, travel, overnight stays to the women. And I can tell you that I have more women booking than the men. The only time we have men is when they want to surprise their wife for an anniversary or a birthday. The rest of the time, it's all women that are booking it. And they're the ones that we talk to and
Totally
understand. My business is starting to pick back up again, so I can tell you
where to
that I
be.
feel good about that.
When do we get?
Well, I think that with all the advertising through Facebook and all that, does that just alleviate any of your requests from group tours?
Okay.
I mean, how, they don't go hand in hand, do they?
What was that?
Or do they? Do advertising through Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, that's individual, isn't it?
Yes.
Or it isn't approaching the group tours,
Correct.
or is it? I mean,
No.
it may not.
No, it is not.
Okay.
And I did not receive any approval from any of the funding institutions to advertise in group tours, with the exception of the state. So we had advertising in group tour media, but when I approached the tax commission, you guys wanted to stay St. Louis only. And when I approached the county, the funding that they provided was a very small percentage. And would not have even covered one of the ads in a group travel magazine.
Mm.
And then with the city, they did not approve the funding for memberships with the group tour entities, travel to their conferences, and the advertising dollars were cut so short that I did not have the revenue, or I did not have the resources to have a group.
No. Well, it might be because groups cannot be accommodated unless it's at the motel, because your B&Bs do
Right.
not.
See, that, and she
So is
brought
that
this
the
up
approach?
before, and it's very true. She's right on the money on that. The state looks at us and says, we don't want you to advertise in group tours because you can't handle them.
Well, the state will let us advertise in group tours.
Yeah,
Fiscal year
and they
12.
don't, but that was always their thinking in the past.
Oh,
And- and-
definitely.
And
They said
they're
that.
definitely right. They're looking at the number of rooms that we have. She's looking at it more realistically, that even if she had a group that wanted to come in, they won't stay here because they don't want their chickens spread out.
Right.
They want them in one place.
Oh.
And the problem is that a group tour would be great if you got them to come in and stay somewhere in our vicinity, and stay overnight and spend money in the restaurants and the shops, and overnight, even if they didn't come to the Southern Hotel or the Inn or the Main Street, because we can't handle them.
No.
But we don't have a place that can handle it. And that was that one page I printed out, and that page came from back in 1997. And they said the thing you needed was, and we didn't have the microtel then. And they said the thing you needed was a bigger facility. Well, even the microtel's not big enough.
Right.
And I will tell you that I was going in meetings in Cape Girardeau, and Drury owns all of the Victorian, all of them down there. But Cape Girardeau did not meet the statistics for the state,
Yeah.
because they had no facility that was, at the time, that was 100 rooms or more. They don't count anything that's less than 100 rooms.
Well, you
And they've
can't
actually
get-
made that bigger.
That's ridiculous, because
Well,
you
it
only
does.
get 45 people on
Arkansas
a
counts
tour.
every bed and breakfast. They count every room available. But the state of Missouri, if you, I mean, and I've got a page here that shows every county around us. You know, there's like 24 counties. And very few of them, I mean, Cape Girardeau is one of the biggest.
Yeah.
You know, at like, I think like 60, maybe 60,000. But that's because of the university, the school.
Yeah.
It really doesn't, if you look at it, it doesn't count. But that's where they're registered, a lot of kids are registered, people are registered. We're talking, Farmington is 16 or 17,000 in the city, you know, in the surrounding area. We're 18,000, you know.
Total population.
Total population for the
Yeah.
county, and they give it to you by county. Okay, so there are no facilities big enough, and they're looking, I mean, in all of those, I think there's 18 in one and 18 or 19 in the other, and in all these counties around us, they don't get any more than 25,000, and there's only like 3 of them participating in all of those. We're one of those for the 25,000, because nobody has. Yeah, and they don't count, the state of Missouri does not count you as a tourism destination unless you have facilities larger than 100 rooms.
That's sort of silly, because only 50 people on a tour bus. But anyway, we've got Festus now with 2, don't they have 2 motels up there?
Yeah,
Oh,
they have
this
more
is-
than that, yeah. They have,
Oh, yeah, they have
Farmington has
Drury and they
400
have,
rooms.
yeah.
Farmington has how many hundred?
400. I met
400?
with Farmington last week with Martin.
Yeah.
Um,
You
and
see, our entire
that
county,
was
with everything you count, we don't have less than what,
Just over
200?
100.
We have less than
Oh,
200.
I'm sorry, 200 is correct.
Yeah.
I was thinking city numbers.
And that's counting every little mom and pop place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me just ask another question. Well, it's diversion. The tour bus that we had in town a few days ago, I heard that it was a religious group, but it
Yes,
was a really
St. Gregory's.
large tour.
34. They
There were
stayed overnight.
34 people on that?
Yeah, it was 34 people, they stayed at
Where'd
the
you put 'em?
hotel.
At the microtel.
Good,
Yeah.
good, that'll boost that
No,
business.
that would
And they
be
had-
something.
Yes,
They shopped, they had plenty of time for shopping,
good.
and they set up, their coach had an hour, and they did this completely on their own. Their coach bus was their transportation throughout town, so they had a
Oh.
route.
They
And
did.
I helped the bus driver, because when they
Yeah.
got in town, they didn't realize about the railroad trestle. So
Oh,
I
right,
got,
sure.
I met with the bus driver and I explained to her how to get around the railroad trestle, so that way
Yeah.
they could have a circuitous route going throughout.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well. They had a great time, they shopped, they all ate differently. I mean, they had one group lunch, I believe they had at the Old Brick, but they stayed at the Microtel Monday night,
Good.
Yeah. Did,
and they were very, very happy.
yeah,
They had
that's
a
terrific.
really, really good time, and that's important.
Did you send out emails to, 'cause Lawrence didn't know anything about it, and I think we were out of town, so I don't think I could have helped out with the store.
There were notices. And
There
I-
were
I-
notices?
yeah, there were notices.
He said he didn't get any, but
Okay.
no, that's all right. Because you don't know that any time that there is a tour group coming in, he's only open on the weekends, but if I'm free, I will go down in the store
Okay.
and hang out, so.
Yeah, we had sent out emails because so many people choose to be closed on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we.
Well, I don't remember if I
Because
got an
it's a-
email or not, but we did get some people in, and I was working in the garden,
Yeah.
and so,
We were very busy Monday.
Yeah,
I
and so-
I was the
Yeah.
staff for the Welcome
Weather
Center that day,
was
so I was like,
terrific.
well, and Kathy opened up for them.
Oh,
When
great.
they came in.
Uh-huh.
I was working, trying to get my garden ready for,
And you're in the garden.
yeah.
Great, great, good.
And I also have a wedding back there that's next month, and so. And I'm, by myself, because I let her go out there and she got poison ivy again.
oh, it's growing bad. I have it down at the Welcome Center. anymore.
We've had a lot of
It's
it
so
in our
bad
town.
everywhere, and she
Yeah.
just, she didn't get into the poison ivy, but we have two of these wild cats that live with us.
Oh.
Well, their mother came and stayed until she had 5 kittens, and then she disappeared. The boys are gone.
Abandoned
But the
her
cat,
family?
yeah, but the two of them, they live in the back, and they're good. You whistle, they come and everything. But they got up on her lap, and she petted them, and of course, they were
Rolling
Having a
in
poison
the,
ivy.
somewhere in my neighborhood. Everybody has poison ivy in their yard.
Yeah.
Everybody.
yeah.
And back to that tour, yeah, Beth said that was a very good tour. People really did have a good time.
That's great.
Yeah, she wanted to send a thank you letter to the
Be
organizer.
sure and put me on the list, so I'll open up for it.
You might be able to do that.
Because I'm working outside, I'll open up.
Yeah, I'm in the process of going through the contacts and
Yeah.
getting all of our information tightened
Yeah.
up and what they have on the front computer, because we're not on a server system. So what's on the front laptop, what's on my laptop, there's a lot of different information everywhere, and we're working on trying to consolidate to a cloud drive,
Yeah.
or a sky drive, so that way we have, because, documents, there's differences.
Yeah.
But we've been working on cleaning up, but we have 1,500 contacts, and it's extraordinarily time consuming. And I've been trying to focus in on the media,
Yeah.
and, so that way we can have good information going out to the appropriate outlets.
Maybe you could do that little bus tour deal with other drivers, show,
Oh,
write something
absolutely.
up or something, something.
Or if you don't have the time, call on one of us, because the innkeepers can always
Yeah.
take 15 minutes away from whatever they're doing to walk down and show a bus driver how to get around town, and not get, we can help you out on that. I mean, you can't leave the building and.
Right.
and-
Well, Monday was a prime example, with my
Yeah,
staff.
I understand you're
Yeah.
shorthanded on staff, so I'll always give you a hand. you
Yeah,
know.
it worked out really well, and they were in town all day. They were coming
Yes.
in and out. It was really nice. That turned
Well,
out.
when they find out how cheap it is to stay here in the microtel, and I talked to Ron, I'm gonna say back in '07, he was $49 a room. He is now $79 a room.
Wow.
And you see, he's gone up that much,
Yeah.
but his gross income has come down, so he's doing a lot less rooms.
Sure.
But, at any rate, they say, well, why is it, so cheap to eat here? The cafe, too, the firehouse,
Uh-huh.
the brick, the anvil, Big Field. Big Field, you get a salad and a bowl of
Oh, yes,
soup. That's
that's what-
wonderful for
Yes.
$7.
Oh, yeah. People who come in, I hear that quite often. It's so reasonable. When people are coming in from St. Louis, I know locals are like $10 for this.
You're crazy.
But
Go to
people
St.
come-
Louis.
Exactly. People from larger towns, St.
Yeah.
Louis,
Yeah.
Chicago, Memphis,
I mean,
they see the value. in
I have to
the
eat when I
quality.
go to St. Louis, because
Good.
our children live in Wentzville and further.
Uh-huh.
Mine don't live quite as far. but you're talking 2 hours each way.
Yeah.
In Troy, okay? So what you're saying is, I can't drive up and drive back, that's 4 hours, somewhere along there I have to eat.
Oh, yes.
And
same with
even if
trucking.
I go to a semi-fast food place, it costs me $20-25.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you can eat a wonderful meal down here for, for 2 people for $15 to $20,
Yeah,
real easy.
And it's quality.
Oh, it's good
Yes,
food.
it's good
It's good food.
Yeah, it's good.
yeah.
So, and that's one thing I know is a major strength for us. So when people, when they're bringing the groups and the ones that we know about,
Yeah,
and they're talking about establishments where they can go, depending upon their group size, determines where I can point them. But with this group, they did the houses, and then they were kind of all free to do their own thing.
yes, yeah.
So I was able to talk about all of the restaurants that we had open, on Monday. for
Monday,
evening
you
for
have a
dinner.
lot of, well, the only one not open, I guess, is the hotel. Are
Monday,
they
the
open back
hotel's,
up?
Monday, the hotel's closed.
Yeah.
Monday,
Well, the little
night,
restaurant.
Station 2 would not have been open for dinner.
Right.
Stella's wouldn't have been open for dinner.
Right.
So I mean, I
There's
was,
Stella's.
I
No,
was,
but you got 4 others to choose from,
oh yeah,
and
definitely.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's
There's-
all right
there's enough-
downtown here.
Which
There's
is
enough
fortunate.
difference in the menus, and that's what really comes out. It's, whenever people ask, it's like, well, what are you in the mood for?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
we have something that will cover.
You
anything
got
from
Italian,
whites
you
and
got
sit
little
down, stick to your rice.
Louisiana, and then you've got the Anvil and the brick.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I don't write this down as an Okay,
Just to say discussion on tour buses.
okay.
Yeah, let us all know, and I mean, I'm working in my garden every day, and so I'm out there, and so we put the sign up that says open, but the door's locked, and they say, well, it says open, I said, well, go in.
Yeah.
And it's a break for me, I go in and get a drink of water, I smell like a bum. But Kathy did it for me the other day. She
Great,
took
that's
me at it, because I'm adding mulch, trying to make it look nice. I changed all my landscape timbers, 50 of them.
That's a lot of work.
I got 50 landscape timbers, and I called my to-be son-in-law, and I said, they just bought a farm, 9 acres in Troy, just outside of Troy, and I said, you want these for your driveway? He said, oh, yeah. They're okay,
Yeah.
but they don't look great.
Oh.
And so, I'm into the look, people
Yeah.
go back there,
Yeah,
and I'll tell you what, I just added, I took all the lights off the grape arbor,
Oh.
and I added 3,800 lights on the grape arbor. You know how long it took me? 2 days to
I
put
believe
3,800.
it.
Christmas twinkle lights,
I believe
2
it.
days. Well, taking them off is a job.
Yeah, it is, because you're
Because
winding
the
up
grapevines
all
were beginning to
everybody.
grow, and I'm trying to get it done before they got out here. Anything else to ask Stephanie? Stephanie, thank you for coming.
Oh,
We know your
yeah.
time is limited.
That's all right.
Do we have anything we want to bring up? Anyone maybe? I don't have anything.
I don't either.
Okay, thank you. Let's have motion
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Okay. Does
Jack,
anybody
we don't
adjourn?
need a second. As long as we don't have anybody objects.
Who adjourned?
Jack,
Jack adjourned.
okay.